Hello, everybody. Excited utterance here. My name's Hella. Ah, dear. Well, what happened when you actually go looking for something? You might find it. Well, a little bit of it, perhaps, not all of it. Mr. McLeland. Well, it took a while, didn't it? It took that lovely lady coming and asking you and saying, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did. I did. I told you. I told you that we got those letters from that nice man. That nice man who was locked up in the prison, and he had that very nice handwriting. And then I got that call from his friend, right? And he said, "I just checking that you got the letters." And I said, "Yes, I did get the letters. Those letters. Those letters." The letters. Oh, those letters. Yeah, they're no biggie. No biggie at all. And hang on, we can only find two of them. Actually, we can find a record of three of them, but there's only two of them. And oh, the videotape. Yeah, that interview thing. Yeah, nah, gone. What video? What interview? Yeah, nah, means nothing. So, also, those letters, they're kind of bad for Richard Allen, so he doesn't need them anyway. No biggie. Look, Nick McLeland couldn't ignore this. He couldn't do nothing, but he's done the very least he could. And I call bullshit. But, guys, I'm all the way over here, and yesterday I had some stuff on. I had a family thing to do, and I've skimmed the documents. I've had a bit of a listen to some of the streams that happened yesterday, but I want to react live. So, let's do this, guys. Let's get into it. I always remember that big moment when Mr. Alec Baldwin was in the courtroom and the Brady violation rules were read out, the prongs of the Brady violation, and the Teskey rounds, as in the bullets. That evidence was brought out, and that judge, she was very clear, and it was quick and precise, and she said, here's the reasons why the state can't withhold this evidence from you. It doesn't matter. They can't decide what's exculpatory. They're not the ones who get to decide. The defense is the ones who get to decide. And whether or not it was because you, the prosecutors, did this because it was malicious or because it was a mistake, if it's material to his case, too bad, so sad. That's a Brady violation. And she ruled that trial to be dismissed with prejudice. And Mr. Alec Baldwin walked on right out that door. So, do we have a similar situation? And shall I say hello to some people? Obviously, Mr. Richard Allen has been convicted already, so it's a little bit more tricky than that, just walking out the door. But this is just so shady. This is so shady, and it's just so Nick, isn't it? It's just so Nick. Let me say hi to some people. So, court of public opinion is here. Nick provides more proof that he's a piece of shit. Gives Gull another chance to prove that she's a piece of shit too. Oh, Yeah. Well, guys, maybe I should do a poll, or is it really worth it? What do you think Gull's going to do with this? Should it be denied or denied? Hella spelled his name wrong in the description. It's Dickless. Yeah. Maddie's here. Yeah, you're green, Maddie. Thank you for being green. Yep, you re-upped. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Memberships really help the channel. Thank you. Classic Overthinkers here. Morning. Yes, it is morning here in Aussie land. It's Sunday. Yes, and make sure that you subscribed and liked. Rachel from Idaho is here. Hi, and bye, Franz, and Ariel. Heck yeah. JJ Falk, good to see you. Hello to our lovely host. Thank you so much. And Dali says that consider supporting the amazing Hella and becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Melissa Simok. Judge Jessica, hi, JJ. I was touching grass. It was needed. It's okay. That might mean something different here. Getting too cranked. Hi, Shami. Hey, Chinny. Yeah, he found part of it and no videotape. And I can't believe he admitted to Brady in a court filing. No, he's not admitting to it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Hey, Ma'a. Okay, so hey, Christine, Marley, Marissa, Lara. Who else we got? He did what at the end? He said the identical thing about deleting the Holder videos. Ah, that's right. Yes, correct. Hello, Alan Prickman, how are you? Business denied, as usual. Denied. Denied. Hey, Sleepy, how are you? He's a scumbag, and I think that maybe he and Gull are actually related. Perhaps. Was Hella late? Not really. How can she ignore it? Look, she continues to surprise us, right? Surprise us, but not surprise us. This woman just hands out denials like it's candy. Like candy from a crazy person in a white van. That's sorry. That was a terrible analogy. But can she do anything to surprise us now? Is it possible? I don't think she gives a flying fuck. I really don't. I think that she won't think twice about it. It will just be a straight out denied. She's done so many things that could potentially be overturned now. What's one more? Like, really, what's one more? Hey, 43 Goblin. Thanks for your work. Oh, thank you. Hey, Marianne. Hey, Growler. I'm hoping that the defense can respond. Sucks that they have to deal with this shit talk without being able to defend against it. I think they're used to it. Does smoking grass count? Hey, BL Placy. Rose Adams is here. Nick did not sign as verified no affidavits, didn't he? Hey, Rockstar. Yesterday was 30 calendar days since submitting my complaint to the Public Access Counsellor. He said he was going to move forward with my complaint. The law says he has to issue an opinion within 30 days. Then what's going to happen? I mean, what's the repercussion for that? Snake oil salesman, yes. Oh, maybe it's not calendar days. She's the all-powerful Wizard of Oz, don't you know? Oh yeah, hey, Collider Hope. And Factual Liars here. Yes, Judge Jessica. Yep, and Ariel. Absolutely nothing will happen. You're right. Now, yes, you're here for me. That's right. Okay, so let's get into it. But before we do, something else happened. And I just want to address it really quickly. And it might be nothing. It might be nothing. But did you see that Emily posted on X this? Where is it? This. Let's see this. So that's from Facebook, right? So it's from this Facebook group. Did you guys see this? It could be not real, right? So it's a post from an anonymous member of Delphi Murders Uncensored, and it says, "Okay, so I have a connection to someone who was on the jury. She said there's a gag order until December, so obviously that was from a while back, and then we will all hear so much more. Now I've been team innocent 95% of the time. So I asked why the heck they found him guilty, and she said that the jury found out Richard Allen and Keegan Kline interacted. They think maybe Kline told Allen the girls were going to the trail that day. Now we had to stop talking, and I heard nothing more. My question, why wasn't that presented in court then? I wonder. I didn't get the opportunity to ask, but am wondering how the jury found this out and we didn't. Now I'm starting to change my mind." And Emily posted, "Now that these letters have been released, it sounds to me like someone may have leaked them before they made their way to the defense. But I thought only the defense was responsible for leaks." Mr. McLeland, you have some explaining to do. He has a lot of explaining to do, but doesn't mean he's going to. Um, okay, so if this is true, yeah, good question. How did they find out? If this is true, right? This could be a troll who's seen the latest exhibits and is just posting bullshit to this group. Ooh, so we don't know. We don't know. EDW Raptor with the 20 excited utterance memberships. You came through, buddy. You came through, buddy. Thank you so much. Wow. What a legend. You're a good mate of mine. Thank you. I did ask you to stop by, but not just to drop the greens, but thank you for dropping the greens. Thank you. And welcome all new members. If you click on the membership perks tab, you'll find the link to our Discord. Dali and I have a Discord together. It's called Ilya Hella. Is it? Is that what it's called these days? Yeah, Ilya Hella, excited utterance in Dali's Discord or something. But yeah, come along and join. Thank you so much, EDW Raptor. You're very, very generous and a good friend. That post is from right after the trial ended, I think. Okay. So I've tried to get into this group because I didn't even know it existed. I hate Facebook. I tried to get into it yesterday and I still haven't been accepted yet. So I have to follow that up. Anyone who is in that group and can tell, that would be great if you could find out. Because that's relevant to the information that we're about to read. Now, guys, I know a lot of you have already been through these exhibits. I haven't in great detail. I've been through the main points, and I've looked at some of the highlights that people have brought up as well. But yeah, because I had to go do things with my daughter yesterday, and I'm on a different time zone to you guys, I haven't been into the detail that a lot of you all have. So I'm reacting kind of fresh to this. But before that, also, One more thing. One more thing. Where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? So with Brady violations, I mean, they talk about the what's required for them, and I know I did catch yesterday that Michael came on with criminality and sleuthy, and he talked about a local rule, and that's fine. I'm sure there's something to that ensures that locally there's an adherence to the Brady rule, but just generally with Brady violations, this is how they work. So I like to make little graphics. Share. And so I'll do that. I'll just present this to you guys. Present full screen. Present. And share this tab. Share this tab. Cool. Not that one. That one. All right. And because the corn rake trial is on at the moment, why not have some prongs from a corn rake? Plus an extra one, because by then they deserve it. Right, so prongs of Brady. So evidence must be favorable to the accused, either because it is exculpatory, shows innocence, or because it is impeaching, shows the witness is lying. Now, just on that, yeah, it needs to be exculpatory, but the prosecution doesn't get to decide what's exculpatory, right? So that brings you to the next point. The evidence must have been suppressed by the state either willfully or inadvertently. So they are suppressing it, the state's suppressing it. And because they're the ones suppressing it or inadvertently suppressing it, them deciding that it's exculpatory or not exculpatory is suppressing it. So if Mr. McLeland has just gone, oh, okay, well, that's really bad for Richard Allen, so it doesn't really matter, so we'll just put it to the side, that's not his decision to make, right? So if the evidence is to do with the trial, if it's to do with the case, and it's therefore material to the case, then they have to hand it over. It's discoverable. Right? So it's discoverable information. He can't just decide that because bits of it, and from what I've seen, it's just bits of it. It's not all of it. That's inculpatory. So the opposite of exculpatory, inculpatory to Richard Allen. You can't just decide that, oh, it's not relevant. Yeah, it's relevant. So material to the case. He has to hand it over. The defense gets to decide. Prejudice must have ensued, meaning that the defendant was harmed by the suppression of the evidence. Now, it's up to the defense, it's their burden to prove that. And I think that we'll probably find, looking through all of the information, that won't be too hard for the defense to prove. But we'll see. And there'll be an extra prong there because it's a corn rake, and everyone knows there's 4 prongs on a corn rake, and they deserve an extra one because he's dickless. Yeah. Oh, like he'd actually have suppressed something that was genuinely bad for it. Oh yeah, that too. Ah, get right. How does a jury member find out information that's not presented at trial? Right? 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 Dear. It was before the Juror podcast interview. Was it? Oh, so do you know the date of it, Jessica? Okay. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okie dokie. Your keyboard fell. Oh no, Lara. Okay. Now comes State of Indiana by prosecuting attorney Dicholas McLeland. Hang on. We need to do something to introduce him properly. Well, I mean, we had to wait so long for him to respond. He deserves an intro. And respectfully ask the court to deny the defendant's verified motion to preserve and produce specific evidence and their motion to set this matter for hearing in their entirety. The state would ask the court to consider the following: that, as the court has already outlined in February 14, 2025, geez, it was that long ago, that there is no authority for the defense to request that the evidence be preserved by the state, would ask the court to deny the same. I'm pretty sure she's gonna. That the defense in their motion also asks that the state to produce specific evidence demonstrating exculpatory evidence for the defendant. That the state has outlined this in previous filings, but discovery is evidence in a case that the state intends to use at trial, or evidence that tends to exonerate the defendant. Well, okay. Referred to as exculpatory evidence. Not all information gathered in an investigation is discovery. Well, no. That most of what Ricci Davis, sorry, I'll get his name right now. I know I've been calling him Ricci Davis. Sorry. Told attorney Andrew Baldwin is false. Okay. Like, he's a criminal. Criminals lie. That happens. We all lie, don't we? A bit. Okay, that attorney Andrew Baldwin had an opportunity to fact check the information that Ricci Davis provided to him, but instead chose to put the information in a public motion without verifying its truthfulness. How could he? How could he verify its truthfulness? He had an opportunity to fact check the information that Ricci Davis provided to him, but instead chose to put the information in a public motion without verifying its truthfulness. But that's not the point. Okay. He still had to make a record of it, you idiot. Contacted the Department of Corrections and had the department send a list of all outgoing mail from Ricci Davis to the Carroll County Prosecutor's Office. Said list herein attached as State's Exhibit 1. P.S. State's Exhibit 1 is frickin' redacted. Shall we look at State's Exhibit 1 for a moment? State's Exhibit 1. Yes, he contacted you, sir. You. Let's look at State's Exhibit 1. Oh, go away, you marker thing. State's Exhibit 1. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, what's that? Ah, there's Ricci Davis. There. On the 22nd of the 11th, 2024. Isn't that good? Okay, is that the first one? Hang on, let me check. Oh, hang on. No, that's not the first one. Okay, so 3rd of the 7th, 2024, 3rd of the 7th. That's July. 1st to the 7th, 2024. 25th of the 6th. Yeah, but these aren't going to, yeah, okay. So, where's the one? Where's the ones we care about? 25th of the 6th. 30th of the 9th. Purdue, Indianapolis. Jonathan Little, attorney, LLC. Then we have one on the 22nd. Yeah, that's the 22nd of the 11th. Office of Saeed Little, LLC. Jessica Wegg, attorneys. Then we have one. Oh, there we go. Carroll County Chief Prosecutor. 4th of the 10th. Okay, so that was really close to the trial. And what do we got here? Another one to the Carroll County Chief Prosecutor. 21st to the 10th. So we got... Okay, so we got Carroll County Chief Prosecutor, 21st to the 10th, 4th of the 10th, and 15th of the 10th. And I reckon they're going to say there's nothing else. Nope. 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 Yep. 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 Okay. That, as the court can see from the list, Ricci Davis did not send the 8 letters. He only sent 3 letters. 1 letter on October 4th, 2025, 1 letter on October 15th, 2025, and 1 letter on October 21st, 2024. All during or very near the trial. Hang on, what? 2025? What are you talking about? Does he have a DeLorean? What's going on here? Nick. How many 2025s has he gotten, you idiot? You idiot. Slap me with a fish. I need coffee. I suppose it doesn't matter either. He had the opportunity to check for errors, but he chose to put it into a motion anyway. Okay. All during or very near the trial of the state of Indiana versus Richard Allen, that the state was able to recover 2 of the 3 letters sent from Ricci Davis, the letter sent on October 4th, 2025, and the letter sent on October 21st, 2025. Herein attached as exhibits 2 and 3. Well, where's the other one? Has he said anything in here about what happened to the other one? Where's the explanation about what happened to the other one? Does someone eat it for lunch? Did Kathy Shank eat it for lunch? I'll eat your lunch. What the hell? That the letters sent by Ricci Davis are not exculpatory. They are not exculpatory. Mother Cappy ate it. I will eat your letters for lunch. No hurry. We're probably a good half hour away from Exhibit 4. I wanted Dali here for Exhibit 4 because we have text messages to read and do a bit of role play. Yeah. I don't want to be Keegan. Laura's here. Hello. Hey, hun, how are you? My favorite Tasmanian. Yeah, you have to be Keegan, Dali. Sorry. Harry Potter's beard. Somebody needs to feed that bitch. She's eating the evidence. I know, right? She's so small, too. She's such a tiny little gnome, but she eats everyone's lunch. And now she's eating the evidence. Okay, KO. Oh, Dali, don't push it too far. Hey, it's kind of gross. All right. Okay. Letters, in fact, accuse Richard Allen of committing the murders. It's not exculpatory evidence for Richard Allen. It is inculpatory evidence for Richard Allen. You don't get to decide that, mates. That's not your choice. Why do you think that? Okay. Just him putting that in writing, it's so off. It's just, it's it's the opposite of what a prosecutor should be doing. For him to actually write there that he thinks that it's not exculpatory evidence. That the letter dated October 4, 2025 is titled Information on Keegan Kline and Richard Allen. The letter goes on to implicate Richard Allen in the murders, stating that he set up the meeting with the girls. He is the one that killed the youngest girl, and that once the girls were killed, Richard Allen moved the bodies. Okay, that in the letter dated October 21st, 2025, Ricci Davis states that Ron Logan, Keegan Kline, and Richard Allen are responsible for the murders. Ron Logan, let me get this straight. Ron Logan, Keegan Kline, and Richard Allen are responsible for the murders. What an odd trio. Yeah. He goes on to state that attorney Andrew Baldwin is an ignorant lawyer who was hinting to me to lie for him and his client, saying I should know how it is. Okay. That although the state had diligently searched all the evidence involved in this case, the state cannot locate or even verify that the second letter sent from Ricci Davis was received by this office. Yet, show us evidence of your diligent search. I want to see this diligent search. What did you do to diligently search? Hang on, let me look in this drawer. Nah, can't find it. This seems legit. Hey, Steve. Hi, Justin. How are you? That James Winters did call the prosecutor's office on October 15, 2025, and near October 21st, 2025. Why? Okay, maybe he's going to contact the office on October 15, 2025. Like, that's a good prediction. I would like to see him with his crystal ball. That would be cute. A little scarf in a little tent. However, at that time, he did not indicate how many letters that Ricci Davis sent or when he sent them or when he was going to send them. He just called to confirm that the state had received some letters from Ricci Davis. Further, he indicated to this office that both Keegan Klein and Ricci Davis had been subpoenaed by the defense to testify at trial against Richard Allen. He indicated to this office that both Keegan Klein and Ricci Davis had been subpoenaed by the defense to testify at the trial against Richard Allen. Well, if they'd been subpoenaed, that says to me that the evidence is material, right? That makes it important. So wouldn't you do something to file that? Wouldn't you make sure the prosecutor's aware of it? If those people have been subpoenaed, that makes it important. Duh. 14. That the state's response to the motion to correct error, the state referred to the evidence that Ricci Davis supplied to attorney Andrew Baldwin as not matching the physical evidence found at the scene. Yeah. The state, therefore, finds the information that Ricci Davis supplied is not credible. Wait. Let's just read that back. That the state's response to the motion to correct error, does he mean to say in? That in the state's response to the motion to correct error, the state referred to the evidence that Ricci Davis supplied to attorney Andrew Baldwin as not matching the physical evidence found at the scene. The state therefore finds the information that Ricci Davis supplied is not credible. Oh my God. Hello, pot. Meet kettle. It's quite black. Like, what the... Information supplied not matching crime scene. Hello, this is Richard Allen. Information came out of his mouth doesn't match crime scene. Is this Bizarro World? What is going on? Seriously. What is going on? What about Rick saying he shot them in the back and buried them? Yeah, that. Or even just the thing they hang their hat on, that he saw a white van and he hurried up and murdered them and got it over with quickly. That's not what the crime scene looks like. Hello? Reese's information is more credible than any other evidence. Look, from what I've seen of Reese's information, it's a bit all over the place, but so's everything. Right? Like, there's evidence, just nothing lines up except Richard Allen's evidence. And that's that he just wasn't friggin' there at that crime scene. Right? He might have been on the bridge at some point, but he wasn't at the actual crime scene, which is where they were found. He wasn't there. And yeah, the blatant van lie, that thing. Hello, Ian Cleardale. So he had evidence of a conspiracy to commit the murders and a defense lawyer trying to get someone to lie under oath, yet he didn't save this evidence, bring it up in court, or file any charges. Right? And also, we're only finding out about this now because he got caught. We'd never know about this. Like, this would never come to light if it weren't for the fact that Andrew Baldwin has gone in and spoken to him and gone, hey, what about those letters? right? Like they literally have been hidden. None of this would have come up. Oh, hello, Sarah. It's all right. I know you're upset about it all. Close your ears. It's okay. Now, everybody, this is Sarah. If you haven't met Sarah before, Sarah is a very old man. He's a very old man, and all this stuff upsets him a lot. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it makes you wonder what else he's hiding. Is that an orange cat? Well, he's kind of champagne colored. Yeah. He's going to be 19 at the end of the year. He's doing so well. Oh. Hello, what do you think about these letters? I did not mention until yesterday that RA was mentioned as an accomplice. Oh, we're going to have a look at him in a minute. Misunderstood. No, my boy. Okay. That there is zero evidence found in the investigation that Ron Logan and Keegan Kline knew each other or shared or exchanged CP. Well, that's their investigation. You know what? There's evidence. Someone told you. So that should have tipped you off to go look for it. You didn't go looking for it, right? So turns out there were 8 letters and you didn't read them, or you ignored them, or you're just not telling us about them, and you could have gone and looked into it, but you didn't. You didn't. That the state was able to obtain recent communications between Keegan Kline and various civilians, where Keegan Kline denies the allegations set out by Ricci Davis, herein attached as State's Exhibit 4. Oh, I can't wait to read State's Exhibit 4. Dali will be here soon for that. Get ready to vomit. Mm-hmm. He does look good for 19, doesn't he? He's a very handsome boy. He's a very handsome boy. Yes, he is. And we're talking about my cat. From what I've heard and read and heard, Ricci wasn't sure at first if Alan was involved too. Only later he decided find out he wasn't. Yes, I've heard that too. Yep. Okay. That further, in these text communications, Keegan Kline states that Ricci Davis is an idiot. I've only talked to him maybe 2 times. He's one of those guys in prison that tries to write all different prosecutors and gets time cut on people's case. It's laughable. Okay. And Kline is just such a great source, isn't he? Like, we really care what he thinks. We care whether Keegan Kline thinks Ricci Davis is an idiot. Nick? Keegan reiterates this point in several of the responses that he texts. Good for him, Nick. That's great. That is great. We care so much. Yes, Keegan Kline. Great dude. Yep. Such a bastion of modern society. Upstanding citizen. Yeah, we care. That's good. That, as the court can see from State's Exhibit 1, Ricci Davis did send several other letters to other attorneys, which adds credence to the statements that Keegan Kline made about Ricci Davis's behavior. How dare Ricci Davis try to help other attorneys? How dare he? He's such a bad dude. Okay. Yeah, suddenly, yeah, exactly, Sleuthy. Suddenly Keegan's credible, right? That is exactly what Nick McLeland is trying to say. That suddenly Keegan Klein is credible, and Exhibit 1 is trying to show that Keegan's credible because Ricci is some sort of career snitch. Because he's talking to other attorneys. If he were a career snitch, there'd be a lot more evidence of it than that. He would be going to court regularly and he would be testifying and he would be getting time off of his sentence. So where's the evidence of that? I'd like to see it because I've seen career snitches before. They aren't in prison for very long. Right? There was one in the Zachariah Anderson case and he had, what was it, close to a life sentence. Do you know Munch? Where's half Irish? Yeah, like Munch. He had, was it 25 years, something more than that? And after testifying against Zach with the dream sequence, he was out. We got out. Asshole. Right? And he was well known for being a snitch. Well known. Right? So if Ricci Davis is like that, if all those other letters are him getting involved in other people's cases, he wouldn't be like 50 years in prison. There'd be so much other evidence to show that that's what he does. Yeah, Munch is free. Yep. This is gross that he's trying to paint Keegan Klein as being some sort of credible witness. Okay. That attorney, the attorney Andrew Baldwin could have requested this information from the Department of Corrections to verify or debunk Ricci Davis's statements before he made his filing, but chose to file the motion without verifying the allegations. He can do whatever he goddamn likes. The allegations are against the prosecutor. You just don't like it, Nick. You just don't like it. That attorney Andrew Baldwin, by his own admissions, interviewed Ricci Davis on March 27, 2024. Yeah, he has every right to. That attorney Andrew Baldwin had every opportunity before trial to depose Ricci Davis and had every opportunity to call him as a witness at any hearing or at the trial and chose not to. In fact, from James Winter's statements to this office, Andrew Baldwin had in fact subpoenaed Ricci Davis to testify at the trial for Richard Allen. Hang on a minute. That would have been talking about third-party culprits, and that was suppressed. So he could. What's the point? What would be the point of him having him testify at trial when all he would have been talking about would have been third-party culprits, which he couldn't question him about? Nick, you fool! He knows that. He knows that. God, you're so hateable. That attorney Andrew Baldwin now wants to present these statements from Ricci Davis as irrefutable proof without any evidence or corroboration to back up the statements. No, that's not it. He wants to prove that you committed a discovery violation, Nick. And you did. That's what it is. Because you did. So far. And you're really not talking yourself out of it at the moment. That Ricci Davis's statements to attorney Andrew Baldwin do not match the statements that he made in letters that he sent to the state. In those letters, he does not say Richard Allen is innocent or not involved. He doesn't have to. Quite the opposite. He states Richard Allen participated in the murders and is guilty. Okay, we'll see. 24. That evidence that contains allegations that the defendant is guilty with no proof of these allegations is not exculpatory evidence. It's okay, mate. Come on. And therefore does not have to be turned over to the defense. Yeah, okay, we'll see. You don't get to decide that. Sweetie, he wants to investigate further. Prove it, Ned Slanders. With your lies and spider hand. Oh, sorry, spicy hot pocket. Oh, well, yeah, the Rockaways. Yeah, Keegan Klein says Baldwin is a bad attorney and grossly negligent. Well, we should believe Keegan Klein. He knows stuff. Yeah, of course. Bottom line, was the defense entitled to this material or not? Seems like a yes to me, and they didn't get it. Yeah. This is not helping. This is not helping. So far it's not anyway. That there is not a video interview of Ricci Davis that exists within Discovery or within the state's possession. I love this wording. Look at this wording, guys. This is such lawyer wording. This is such lawyer wording. Look at this. That there is not a video interview of Ricci Davis that exists within Discovery. Okay, we know that already because Baldwin said that. Of course it doesn't exist within Discovery. He wouldn't have asked for it. Or is within the state's possession. So that just means they can't find it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just that. I don't know where it is. So that is plausible deniability right there. 26. That even if this was evidence the defense wished to use at trial, it was not newly discovered evidence. Huh? The defense knew of Ricci Davis and had interviewed him, had subpoenaed him for trial, and chose not to present the evidence to court. No. The letters, no. You can't say that. You can't say that. The letters are specific exhibits. They're pieces of evidence that you couldn't have gotten him to write those exact words on bits of paper in an interview yourself. So they're saying that they had interviewed him and subpoenaed him for trial, and they chose not to present evidence at court. So that would have been evidence that they got out of him, not evidence that Ricci Davis gave to the prosecutor, which is the letters he sent to the prosecutor. Right? That's different evidence. So that's not one. The two things are not one and the same. So, nah. This whole number 26 is bullshit. Further, as the state has mentioned in previous responses, any information pertaining to Ron Logan or Keegan Klein falls under the state's motion in limine concerning third-party motive. The defense had 3 days to present evidence to meet their burden for third-party motive. They mentioned Ron Logan, but failed to meet their burden with the court. They chose not to present this evidence in that hearing. They didn't have it. They also did not present this evidence when they renewed their motion during the trial. This now seems to be an effort by the defense to use this motion to circumvent their burden concerning third-party motive. Right, so guys, when was that motion in limine argued in? Give me the timeline of these letters. Because this is actually important, because these last three letters, because they're in October, and they argued this motion in limine even at the trial, didn't they? Like, they had another chance to argue it, like, the day before the trial started, or yeah, like when they were actually there for jury selection, weren't they? So if the prosecutor's office had received the letters and they had them in their possession whilst that motion in limine was in progress, then they can't say that, like, oh, we didn't have it yet, so it's not relevant, or it's not, as in not relevant, it's not, we weren't withholding it. The 3-day hearings, July 30, 31st and August 1, the motion in limine. But didn't it come back up again, though? They had another chance to argue it, sleuthing? Like, because it was put, like, they lost the motion in limine, but didn't it come back up again at trial? Like, they had another chance. He's saying they got them in October 24, like 2 months after the motions were argued. Yeah, I thought they got another chance to argue that motion in limine about the third parties just before trial. I know they lost. Yeah, because there was no nexus. Yeah. Yes, and at trial she said they couldn't bring it in because there was no nexus. Yeah. Yes. So, because that's at trial stage, but by then they would have received those letters. That's what I'm saying. So they can't say that they weren't withholding that information then, because they had them by then. So, I mean, they can't say they weren't withholding it anyway. I mean, they could try, but it's interesting how they're putting forth just these three letters and the timing of them. And yes, that it's after the motion in limine for the third party that's in July. But then what I'm saying is, yeah, there was another chance to argue it, and that was at trial. And so, I mean, the ruling was still kind of up in the air. Like, it's not like you, as the prosecutor, don't still have a duty to disclose it. You do. You absolutely still do. Rick filed 2 motions during trial based on state open door during trial. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Using the fact that the court denied something is like saying, look, you can't say grass is green because the court says grass is pink. So stop trying to prove grass is green. In this case, it's pink. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The letters mentioned staging the crime scene to deter investigators from real culprits. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense. That none of the evidence that the state has gathered from Ricci Davis is exculpatory, nor is it discovery. What? How is it not discovery? Okay, you can try and say it's not exculpatory, but to say it's not discovery,
I mean,
is wild.
Yeah.
What planet does this man live on? Yeah. That this motion seems yet another attempt by attorney Andrew Baldwin. Yet another attempt. Yet another attempt by attorney Andrew Baldwin to push a certain narrative to the public. Specifically the online world. Oh, because he loves the online world so much. He's a boomer, by the way. And when I say, guys, when I say boomer, can you explain what a boomer is?
Someone who's old, doesn't know
No.
technology.
Well, yes, but like it's not like I don't mean boomer like a baby boomer, like a generational.
Oh.
I get people in my comments going, "No, he's not a boomer. He's a Gen X."
Oh, yeah, he just sucks at technology.
Yeah, that's what it means. Sucks at technology. Yeah, I legit. I get people in my comments going, "No, he's a Gen X." I'd be like, "No, no, boomer means like you can't use technology." Because like when the defense guys they came on to Defense Diaries channel and did their interviews after the gag order, they were saying that they didn't really look that much at social media. They're a bit challenged in that way. And then for this guy to be going, oh, they're pushing their narrative to the online world, it's like, they're not even really involved in the online world. Like, they're just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, boomer's a state of mind. That is legitimately my cat trying to move a chair to get out. Okay. Online world. He seems to file these types of motions with very bold allegations. What? Who writes this personal shit in a legal document? He seems to file these types of motions with very bold allegations that he neither verifies the information nor does he present any evidence to back up the statements. And he's got better hair than me. That is unfortunate that motions by the defense in this case have come to the point where they present statements from an inmate as fact.
You're a
without
prosecutor. You use jailhouse informants all the time.
Yes.
You love to use them. You reward them. You encourage them to lie. But how dare they use an inmate? Oh my God, the tenacity of these evil defense lawyers.
He was just talking about how
reliable he
upstanding
was.
Assistant Keegan Klein was.
My jailhouse informant can beat up your jailhouse informant. Dude, buddy, come on now. Let's think about this. Sweetie.
Yeah. Have you seen Keegan Klein?
No, I don't think I have.
You have. I've shown him to you.
I'm sure you have.
He's this fat, awful, just gross CP addict. Search him and prepare to vomit.
I assume you don't mean the country music star?
That's how you spell it.
Okay. Just making sure. Ugh.
Ugh. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah, so it's unfortunate that the motions by the defense in this case have come to the point where they present statements from an inmate as fact without any legal or evidentiary support, please. Wherefore, the state of Indiana, by prosecuting attorney Dicholas McLeland, respectfully requests the court deny the defendant's motion in its entirety without a hearing, and for all other just and proper relief in the premises, the state affirms under the penalties of perjury that the above is true and accurate to the best of the state's knowledge. Blah-de, blah-de, blah, blah, blah. Is that the best you could do, Dicholas? Was that really it? Was it? Was it now? Really? Wow.
Did seem to be rather lacking.
It was. Okay.
much like his manhood.
Excuse me a sec. I just need to sort out a little issue.
Take your time. No worries.
You two, stop it.
So, chat, how is everybody doing? Hella's just off to do something. I don't know what. I make a sandwich maybe, get a glass of water. Oh, I heard a meow. Huh. Okay. So, this is awkward.
Sorry.
Dolly talk. Oh, carry on.
Well, I mean, the cat was trying to get out, and he was really upset. Okay. All right, let's sort this out. So, letters. Let's go. Let's go. He has the most beautiful handwriting. That must be all he really does.
Very supple.
Supple. Do you think Nick is jealous of Baldwin's?
He's very effeminate handwriting.
I don't know. Something like that. All right. So, okay, let's go. So, this is Ricci Davis. He is a meth dealer.
Okay.
And he's in there for 50 years. And apparently there are 8 letters, but we can only find, well, Dicholas can only find 3, or 2.
Okay.
He can only find records of 3. So we're going to quickly go through this. It is very consistent. The handwriting is beautiful. I wish I could write like that. Baldwin is sexier. Yep. Okay. All right. So I'll get reading on this one. So, Dear Chief Prosecutor, my name is Ricci Davis, number 114393. I am incarcerated at the Newcastle Correction for something I wasn't comfortable writing for fear of not being taken serious. However, this has to be heard. There are several aspects that at first may seem all over the place. However, if I don't explain it all, you'll get confused. So forgive me, I'll do my best here. Back some years ago, a man named Ron Logan came here to Newcastle, and I daily conversated with him. And
I like his he sure has a fancy vocabulary for a city
He
boy.
does. And and something of things he opened up about made my ex-girlfriend contact the FBI, trying
like
to
me to
do
read
the
this?
right thing. Can you read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
To do the right thing, say the least, yes. Fast forward and until now today. Fast forward until now today. Semicolon. He's a fancy, educated man. There also has been another guy who was transferred here from another prison back in early March of 2014 by the name of Keegan Klein. For the last 6 months, he seemed to need a friend in need, and quickly,
Very recklessly
began to talk of beating the system. Beat that haircut. And glad it is Richard
Allen.
Allen, who is caught up. However, feared he would run his mouth.
Okay.
Note, I am in a protective custody custody unit with 98% chomos, and trust me, the people speak and brag on their cases as it is a cool thing. I am here on drug charges. However, Keegan Klein assumes I must have a sexual case and began talking and I slowly took information as he appeared to build trust with me. Oddly, since a earlier report by my ex-girlfriend was made regarding Mr. Logan, out of nowhere this lawyer pops up to visit me. Richard Allen.
Richard Allen's lawyer.
Lawyer. Baldwin on something wanting to know if I would come testify on R. Allen's behalf regarding Logan. I told him no, because I already planned on contacting you, knowing the information to do with Klein. I never told him about Klein because the information involved Richard Allen. Okay, Keegan Klein and Ron Logan, although he has now passed, as you know. I will now explain what Klein has told me, and I'll share the evidence he informed me of so you see I'm doing this in good faith. Kagan told me him and his Papa Bear were working a hustle from this back page, making big money from child images.
Oh, dear.
Jeez, just gotta take the
Really?
fun from my funny voice. God. Okay. Ugh.
Dear.
Every 6 months they bought burner phones. Burner phones.
Not burner phones.
For clients, and R. Allen and Logan were two of them, and received new phones from Kagan. From what I was told, they done a lot of trading too. Ugh. I am told they all had their hands in this murder and feel released. Someone has the fall for who isn't going to talk. This Allen guy sold a fine firearm to Kagan for these burner phones as he supplied. Kagan somehow had the Abbey girl victim take pictures of herself and trade it, between the three of them. Richard Allen set up meeting the girls with Logan. However, they met at Logan's home drinking. Logan and Keegan met up with the girls as Allen was at the farm. So he's kind of assuming they're all together.
Yeah.
Keegan had the firearm and Logan had a carpet knife to scare the girls. They walked the girls back to the house where Allen waited. Period. I was unsure about the story being a lot of details. However, I pretended interested over time. Here is some details only the killer would know, and make yourself so you can weigh the information out. He informed me him and Allen moved the ladies or bodies 3 times, and they were not unalived where the girls were found. He said they staged the scene, whatever that means. The youngest girl was kept alive longer, and Allen didn't want to unalive her, but Kagan made him because it was too late. Kind of misspelled two there, but I digress. He said they all got nervous leaving town in their own cars and to the Lafayette to get rid of evidence. I honestly don't see him making all this up. However, if it appears he did for some sick reason, just
Dismiss
this letter If by chance it seemed to meet the evidence you are dealing with, you are welcome to come speak with me. To be honest, Jim, I'm only comfortable speaking with you for the moment. My beautiful, beautiful Nicky boy. And P.S. I love your hair. Please understand as the
Snitch.
snitch table in label in
Label
is read in prison.
is
However,
real in prison.
is real in prison. However, I
Yeah.
will talk to you for the time being. I trust your arms will protect me. Take care. Sincerely yours, Ricci Davis.
Okay, but there's this bit up here. What's that?
P.S. I also saved a note from Kagan. He wrote on lockdown that don't
Say a lot.
say a lot about the
Hang on. Hang on, just zoom in a bit more.
yeah.
Oops. Yeah.
He talks a little in it. Well,
Somewhat. If you want to something, something,
cut
let
off.
me know. Yeah. Well, you were right about him making things up, Reese. He made some shit up. But isn't it curious? Because isn't it curious because like it didn't fit Nick's narrative, so he didn't use it. Right? So there was stuff in there that would have made Alan look really guilty, but it was kind of too late for him to fit it into his story, so he didn't use it. Right? Okay. So that's exhibit 2. Now let's have a look at exhibit 3. Exhibit 3, exhibit 3, exhibit 3. Just a sec. Let's get that up. Okay, exhibit 3. Hey, Duck and Felonies. I don't believe any of these rumored confessions. I think the cops gave all of these people the facts of the case when they interrogated them. Klein, Logan, Allen, and Ellis. Yeah, look, I'm sure like these all need to be taken with a grain of salt. I tend to think that that's true. However, Nick McLeland has a duty to disclose all this stuff in discovery. So he's the professional, and these are inmates, and they have an agenda. So that's why, like, prison snitches aren't the most trustworthy of witnesses, and that's the case in court, right? So, but doesn't mean that you don't hand this stuff over. If things get sent to a prosecutor, prosecutor has to provide it in discovery. Simple, really, really simple. So, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He can't decide what's exculpatory and what's not. He can't decide. Like it's and it's somebody that the defense has subpoenaed as well. So like, who's he to say whether or not it's material? Who's him to decide? And to say it's not discoverable, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yeah, there's tons of things that aren't discoverable, but this clearly is something that's discoverable. See what I mean, Hella? I don't know what to think. I kind of believe Reese, or at least I did. But except for the beginning, I've always thought that Arya was 100% innocent. I want to see the first letter. Look, I don't think I completely believe Reese at all. But that's not the point. It's not the point. This is a discovery violation. Right? So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh yeah, I just 100% believe that the handed down words of Ron Logan to Ricci Davis, and just hearsay in a prison environment, and then him talking, so sending a letter to somebody else, him having his chats in the prison yard, then remembering it and writing it down. No, no, I don't trust all that. And plus, it's changed over time as well. But that's not the point. The prosecutor is supposed to be the professional, and he's supposed to look at this and go, it's not up to me to decide what's exculpatory and what's not. This is discoverable. I need to hand it over. And he didn't. And that is a Brady violation. So the judge, in my opinion, has no choice. She absolutely needs to rule in favor of the defense here, and she's not going to. Not going to. Anyway, can you read this, or do you want me to? Shall I zoom it up a bit more? Oh, hang on, I need to take a comment away. You're muted.
I got it. Dear Mr. McDickhead, if you will look back on the record, the same information now being released like the evidence I done reported. I reported that the girls were cut up and their throats cut back in 2018. I reported the girls were moved and hidden in a barn and drove around until the search started. I reported that Mr. Logan left town leaving the girls with two others until he got back because Logan got nervous. Recently, as I previously wrote, I learned now the last 5 months who else was involved. You have me now in Kugan Clan. If I even had the 5 minutes to explain, you would see they all three are involved. I offered the detective who came to see me in 2018 just to put a wire on and let them conclude for themselves what all Logan was saying. McLeland, they declined the offer, which made no sense when it was a perfect opportunity, as it is a perfect investigation tool for 2 reasons. First, it would provided the information from the source, and to eliminate new information on the reality of trusting a inmate's credibility is within danger zone.
Danger zone.
I get it. Highway to the danger zone. Woo!
Yeah. Sorry.
The problem was the detective and examiner come with Maverick, the detective and examiner mindset of not waiting to believe me before I even spoke. Come on, Goose. I have a disability of trait syndrome, as it provoked.
Where? What's that?
In the middle of Tret syndrome.
Tret. Is it Tourette's? No. Tret.
Looks like TREL.
Okay.
My nervous system. I take several medications for treatment, and they gave me no chance to explain these facts. That is the reason. I just simply offered to just put a wire on and allow it to be recorded. Fast forward, I was visited by an attorney, Alan de Baldwin, who is representing Richard Allen, about 2.5 months ago. Didn't know he was, however, he stated he was investigating past reports and my name came up. He informed me that the information I gave in 2017, year of our Lord, timed with the actual evidence of the murder scene. He asked if
Wait, sorry.
I
Wait.
would
He
come to
informed me that the information I gave in 2017 lined
timed
with the
timed with the
timed
actual evidence of the murder
evidence.
scene. Or maybe it is
Okay.
aligned.
Maybe, but yeah, it could be aligned with the actual evidence of the murder
Yeah.
scene. He asked if I'd come to testify. Okay.
He asked if I would come to testify at this trial. I told him no.
No.
And the reason was knowing his client, Keegan Klein, and Ron Logan all are involved. Long story short, I wasn't going to help because I was planning on reporting the information to your office. Mr. McLeland, this ignorant lawyer, was hinting me to lie for him and his client, and that offended my sensibilities, saying that I should know how it is. Please hear me out. No, I can never relate to child killers. I don't know what planet this attorney is on. It felt insulting in a way. Oh, okay. He indicated this
Occult.
occulting. Ooh, my. He is far from right because Klein told me they staged the scene because Ron knew they were coming after him because by the time they were killed, the police was everywhere. Should be were. And through the night, and there was no way to get the girls out of the area. I hope that we can speak because although Logan is passed away, the other two need to face the consequences. I've been afraid that I'm not taken serious and Kagan will somehow get off and not see his day in court. Good sir, I pray wholeheartedly you'll allow me to explain everything so you can compare the information to validate. I trust your glorious mustache will know the truth. I don't expect to be believed, however you compare the information. Thank you, good sir. And as I promised, I would send the note Kagan wrote, and I'll send it with this. Take care, my beautiful Dickie. Sincerely, Reese's Pieces Davis.
Reese's Pieces to Piece. I don't know what to make of all that. I just don't know what to make of all that. Ugh. Was there supposedly more letters after that, or were they the last ones?
I think he only found like 3 or 2.
I know, no, I know he only found 2. Well, supposedly only found 2, but there was supposed to be 8. And the question is that I have is like, were there supposed to be other ones after that? Were there, were there more recent ones? I don't know I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. I feel like there's no way Rick Allen is part of their little group. I find it all bullshit. And maybe he's just been misled by these people. I mean, I fucking don't believe anything Ron Logan or Keegan Klein says. That's for fucking sure. But then again, I mean, do I trust this dude? Who, who was it before? Who was saying, yeah, Harry Potter's beard. I'm a forgiving mofo. I love that word. I always give peeps a benefit of the doubt. Same. I choose to believe Ricci has changed during this time in the big house. He seems like an okay dude to me. Look, he comes off that way. But then again, I'm a little sus of somebody who's been in prison all that time and then just wants to cuddle up to the cops and the state.
Well,
Like, he's very...
McLeland has a fatherly figure about him.
That's the only thing that concerns me about him. Just the way that he's all like, oh, I wanted to do the right thing and I want to talk to you and that kind of thing. It's just like, just that little part doesn't really sit right with me because prosecutors are assholes and they all know that. So what's that little part? That bit just doesn't really make sense. And he didn't tell Baldwin any of that. So I'm not sure how much I trust this dude. But I think that matters very little. I don't think guys, I think it doesn't matter that much. I think there's a far bigger point here, and that is that this is a fucking Brady violation. Nick has cut his own dick off. By not handing this shit over, he's cut his own dick off. He really has.
And he didn't
This
have
is
much
bad.
to spare.
No, and he didn't have much to spare. No. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, like, how much crap this guy's spinning. And to be honest, it's great that this stuff didn't get admitted into trial. This stuff looks terrible. Right? It's all bullshit anyway. So it's great it didn't get admitted into trial. But it should have been handed over in discovery. That was his responsibility. This was Nick McLeland's responsibility to hand it over in discovery, and he didn't, and he should face the consequences. So, what were you saying there, Harry Potter's beard? To clarify, by change, I mean personal growth, and if released, he wouldn't go back to dealing, I hope. Yeah, agreed. And I'm soft too. Like, you guys all know it. Like, I need really solid proof before I'm like, yeah, that person's guilty. Really solid proof. Okay, we have one more exhibit. Well, if it's in the record now, so the appellate court will consider it. Well, it's going to have to be the appellate court, Sleazy, because there is no way that that Judge Gull is going to even consider this. We all know what she's going to do. She's going to get her template out. Harden up, girl. Oh, Justin, just because you think everyone's guilty. You narcissist. Okay, so it's time. Okay. Are you right to do this?
Yeah.
Cool. And we have exhibit 4.
Take off after.
Yeah. You'll take off. I have exhibit 4. Thank you, Sleuthy, for sending that to me. I got it just before, but it's much easier to get out of your messages. Right. And share this time instead. Okay, so we have some inmate messages. Not too many. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. How am I going to do this? So we've got Keegan Klein and
So
incoming
are these
from
all
Keegan Klein.
incoming?
No, hang on. Incoming. Outgoing.
Okay, so these are all going to our boy Keegan.
Keegan,
Probably
yeah.
shouldn't call him our boy.
Probably not, no.
No.
We really don't like him.
No.
Okay, so unfortunately we haven't had time to reformat this to make it easier to read. I'm sorry.
I'm the one who
Okay.
specializes in this.
Excuse me, I showed you how to do it.
Kind of, yes.
Kind of, yes. All right, so we got Keegan Klein incoming, and that was on the 14th of the 2nd, 2025. So it's recently. It was Valentine's Day.
Oh.
And hang on. And who's that from? Do we know? Inmate name, incoming, but we don't know who from. Hang on. When it says incoming,
I
that
think
means somebody else
going
coming in.
to Keegan.
Right, so I'll be whoever that is. Here's 10. I'll send the other 4 separately. Here's the rest. Oh, look, and there's Ricci. So I'll be Ricci. We wanted to reach out to you to see if you had heard about the most recent filing in the Richard Allen case. One of Allen's trial attorneys claims that he spoke with Ricci Davis. What?
Wait.
Oh, it's subject Ricci Davis. It's not
Yeah.
from Ricci Davis. Right, but do we know who it's from? No. Okay, do we know who any of these are from?
I don't think so.
No, we don't.
Someone
No,
who visited
okay.
Epstein's Island. Black
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah. All right, okay. Fine, no problem. Sorry about all the stuff coming up on the screen. I just want to make it so
Maybe
we can read it.
zoom out a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we wanted to reach out to see if you had heard about the most recent filing in the Richard Allen case. One of Allen's trial attorneys claims that he spoke with Ricci Davis and that Ricci Davis talked to him about you. According to Davis, you made comments to him indicating that you were involved in the murders, that Ronald Logan was too, and that you had info only the killers would know. Do you have any comment on this? What?
I watched another live, and someone strongly believed that some of these messages were the unaliving shit.
Oh, them?
Because we wanted to reach out to see if you had heard about the most recent filing, and who is arrogant enough and just slimy enough to do something like that.
Not my favorite people.
No.
Ain and Skevin.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? This is a state exhibit, and they can't fucking strike me for this.
No.
So fuck them.
You could hurt their feelings, though.
I could hurt their feelings.
They do get upset quite easily.
They do. They're very emotional.
Yeah. Don't critique them.
We wanted to reach out to you and see if you had heard about the most recent filing in the Richard Allen case. One of the Allen's trial attorneys claims he spoke with Ricci Davis and Ricci Davis talked to him about you. According to Davis, you made comments to him indicating that you were involved in the murders, that Ronald Logan was too, and that you had info only the killers would know. Do you have any comment on any of this?
They
You
go
are.
again.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you're Skevin.
Hi, Keegan. I'm not sure if you are talking to anyone who keeps you updated when you are being mentioned in legal filings. But on Feb 14th, Richard Allen's defense attorney Andrew Baldwin filed a motion that referenced you being involved in the Delphi murders. Baldwin met with Ricci Davis, who previously talked about Ron Logan confessing to him. Davies told Baldwin he met both Keegan Klein and Ron Logan at Newcastle. Logan confessed to being involved in the Delphi murders with two other people, but never said who they were, although he revealed details only the killer would know. March 2024, Kika was placed near Davis, and Kika asked if Logan mentioned KK's name, and Davis began to realize KK may have been one of the other two killers. KK revealed details of the murders that corroborated details Logan told Davis that only the killers would know. These conversations continued until Richard Allen was found guilty in November. And KK told Davis he was relieved he would no longer be a suspect. KK told Davis that Richard Allen was not the third killer, and Allen was not involved in the murders of Abby and Libby. Keegan Klein told Davis that he knew Ron Logan from trading CSAM and sharing burner phones, and would meet every 3 to 6 months to show Logan how to use the phone. That's it. Baldwin filed a motion because he said Allen's defense never received 8 letters. Ricci Davis said he sent to Nick McLeland on a videotaped police interview of Davis, and that the defense could have used that information to show that Ron Logan and you were involved in the murders, and Richard Allen is innocent. Is this stuff true? How would you describe Ricci Davis? Is he unreliable for making stuff up? Did he say I was in the closet? Apparently, he took a polygraph about what he says Ron Logan confessed to and failed miserably. Some of the details were included in a court filing and did not match up to the case last crime scene facts.
I don't think they give a shit. But yeah, Jamie Gray isn't this sending Ricci up to be targeted? Yeah. These people don't care.
Hey.
Hang on, wait. Who is this? Let's just
I
check
don't
who
know.
this is. Incoming.
Hey, just a heads up, Holly is back at it, and she plans on contacting you to get details. You're a grown man. Well, just know anything you say to her will be shared online.
Who the hell's Holly?
Not very jolly.
Okay, hang on a minute. Wait. Who's this?
Outgoing.
Oh, this is him.
Oh, God, I didn't
This
even
is him.
prepare.
Okay.
That dude is an idiot. I've only talked to him maybe 2 times. He's one of those guys in prison that tries to write all different prosecutees and get time cuts on people's cases. It's laughable. He also pimps himself out for commissary and drugs. He's a complete loser and drug addict.
And you're not a loser, Keegan?
Some of us have more dignity. I don't need to pimp myself out. I just go without shampoo.
Okay, hang on. Is that... Oh, here he is again. You were mentioned in legal filing. Oh, okay. So this was back to Skevin.
Lol. That's so funny. He's so stupid if anyone could see who Ricci really is. He writes a bunch of prosecutees on people's cases saying a bunch of lies to get a time cut. I've talked to the dude maybe 2 times. The police know I had nothing to do with that shit. And I have no clue who Ron Logan was until people told me. Scout's honor. Ricci goes by Ghost. Kind of a badass name if you ask me. But apparently he doesn't think so.
Okay.
He is a drug addict loser. Sir,
And you are?
I'm only a sexual degenerate. I'm not a drug addict. I have standards, apparently.
Apparently.
I would never
that's
do
fine.
drugs. I'd just be a
No.
vile human being instead.
Yeah, no.
He's a drug addict loser, the worst of the worst in prison.
Okay.
Who's in... Who would be murdered the second he steps into general population?
Okay, there must be like a little club in prison for the CP or CSAM like community, and
Yeah, they're in
like,
protective custody. So
yeah, and
they're-
between them, they're all like, "Oh, you're pretty cool. Oh, yeah, you're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't like those drug addicts though.
No. What does he think?
They're
He's the...
losers."
Wait, this isn't Varsity of Chomos, buddy. Good Lord.
Yeah, Slithy, right? Right. Any day. Any day. This is so weird. He's so delusional.
He pimps himself out for commissary and pills. I wish I would have known all this when he was here. Lol. I needed a good laugh. Thank you. Hope all is good with you and the fires in L.A. Be safe, Mom. Have a good one. Aw. Class act.
Hang on a minute. Do the murder shits live in LA? No, they don't. They don't. So hang on, why do we think that that's who they are?
Where do they live?
Don't they live in Indiana or not? I thought they're locals.
No, they do stuff all over.
I thought they were locals to the area. I thought that was like their sort of claim to fame.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Because you know how like locals are always like, we know more than you because we're locals. Someone in chat help us out with that. Who was in LA? Well, whoever it was who wrote the text message, you are mentioned in a legal filing. Because Keegan's responding with, I hope all is good with you and the fires in LA.
Yeah.
Tom Webster. He may not do good geography. Yeah. Or maybe we just have the wrong person. Tom talked to Klein, posted on his community page. Okay, so who's Tom Webster? Or should I know that already? Am I missing a name? Have to look at the subject line, several different conversations with multiple people going on. Yeah, it'd be easier if they just give us the names, but of course they're not doing that. That's fair enough. So you are mentioned in a legal filing, and you are mentioned in a legal filing is here, and that's this one. So, okay, so I'm wrongly assuming that this one here is also coming from murder shoots, and it's not. So it's coming from this Tom Webster person. We okay. Assuming, like, it might not be. Might not be. He's a YouTuber. Okay. So great. Okay, so we got these YouTubers reaching out to YouTuber and podcaster reaching out to Keegan Klein. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, where were we? We were. Right, you were mentioned in illegal. No, we were. Oh, that's so funny. Hope all is good with you on the fires. Yep. Okay. So Hay, and the last time we saw Hay, just a heads up, Holly is back, and so we got Hay, and this would be Keegan as well.
Yeah. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about her. Thanks for the heads up. I've gotten so many messages about Ricci. It's so funny. The dude is such a joke.
That dude's a joke. Okay. All right. So Rockaway says Webster is a furious cheerleader for McLeland and the families. No point in even listening to him. No, and that's why I don't know who he is.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
So let's go.
Ricci Davis. Okay, so this would be in response to, let's get back up here. Okay, well, that one we think is murder shits.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back down here. Ricci Davis. Okay.
Yeah. We had trouble believing Ricci Davis's story because it didn't sound realistic. For you to just go up to this guy and start saying stuff like that, it didn't make any sense. It just didn't sound like something you would do. You mentioned talking to him twice. Did he ask you about Delphi? Do you remember what you talked about with him? How do you feel about getting dragged back into this? Long thought. Do you know of any prosecutors he's written to / people whose cases he's worked on? No worries if not, just figured we'd ask. Are there any people out there who might be willing to write to us about Ricci Davis's if we reached out to them? We will probably talk about this on our show.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Did you know we have a show? Is there anything else you feel we should know about him and this story he is telling about you? You should also know he is saying that you told him that you would meet with Ron Logan every few months to help him access CSAM. Did you know Ron Logan at all?
Would you sign your autograph on this photo of Abby and that's gross.
Okay.
It's just gross. The way they are.
Speaking of pimps.
Yeah. They're like making him out to be some sort of like star. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like you, some sort of celebrity that we can interview.
Thank
I
you.
don't like it. Like you're involved in this high profile case. Is there anything you know? Is there anything you can tell us? Yucky. Yuck. Hang on, let's just check who's talking. Incoming. Hey. She didn't say much about him. She posted online that your dad was giving you $5,000 at a time to keep quiet, and that when you got a subpoena, you had her call Rosie and tell him if they transported you, you would just plead the fifth. Aside from that, KC lost the Super Bowl. Oh, damn. I was so bummed. Lol, random, I know. Okay, so that person, I'm not worried about her. Just a heads up, Holly is back at it. I don't understand who this person is. Incoming to Keegan Klein. Just a heads up, Holly is back at it. And then Keegan said, yeah, I'm not worried about her. Thanks for the heads up. I've gotten so many messages about Ricky. That dude is such a joke. And then she didn't say much about him. She posted online that your dad was giving you $5,000 at a time to keep quiet. Because remember, his dad is Tony, and he was involved in the whole CSAM thing as well. And it was a discussion for a while that Anthony Shots was actually Tony. Like, it was based on, like, the Anthony name was his dad's name. And that when you got a subpoena, you had her call Rosie and tell him if they transported you, you would just plead the fifth. Okay. No, Nick presenting the words of a convicted inmate as if they're factual inmate. Well, some of it, yeah. Like, he's decided that Keegan is very, I suppose, credible, but not Ricci Davis. He's not credible. Not at all. Not at all. He's picking and choosing who's credible. He's picking and choosing. So they're desperate to make people believe in RA's guilt. They'll platform a nasty, and compulsive lie. Yes, it doesn't matter now because there's proof that there was evidence that was kept from the defense, and that is a Brady violation as long as it meets the three prongs of the rules of Brady violation, and it appears to me that it does. Can't see how it doesn't. Okay, so next one. You are mentioned in legal filing, and this is incoming. Okay, so I appreciate you clearing that up. It was scary with the fires, and the winds were so fast that embers were floating several miles, and normally residential neighborhoods are immune to mass fire destruction. But the winds took it to an uncontrollable level. I had to evacuate for a few hours, but my neighborhood is fine. But I know a few people who lost their homes and everything inside. Makes me thankful for the little things I have. Thank you. Okay. Ricci Davis. So this would be outgoing Keegan Klein. Okay, so I have to do Keegan Klein now. Thanks a lot, Dali. No, I'm not sure, but I know that it was about a murder at Michigan City years ago. Yeah, I talked to him about my lawsuit against ISP. He has a lawsuit against ISP? Due to me getting stabbed. And no, I don't know anyone that would talk. Everyone feels the same about him, though. He is a joke. No, I didn't know Ron Logan or anything about that case. If I did, I wouldn't be in prison for 43 years over a few pictures. A few pictures. Really? I lost my best friend, being my dad, over all the lies all these other people have said I said about him. It's crazy. I hate being brought back into all this stuff, especially over the most outlandish lies you could imagine. Poor Keegan, he's just misunderstood. It was just a few pictures. Hi. Who's that from? Incoming. Hi. Well, it appears you are in the spotlight once again. Lol. Re-hi. Yeah, it's so stupid. I can't believe they're putting all the stuff on the news when it's not even true. I wish you could see how stupid this guy is, lol. I've talked to him maybe 2 times, and it was about me getting stabbed and my lawsuit. It's insane. Hope you're doing good. We're getting our new tablets next week, thank God. Great to hear from you. Hope you message me more often. Doesn't Keegan just sound like a great guy? Isn't it awesome he's getting a new tablet? All right. Well, I mean, what I learned from all this is that he's a criminal. There's a lot of lies going along in between all of these prisoners. Um, I mean, some people aren't going to like what I'm about to say. I'm going to say it anyway because I just do. And what is Dali gone? Give me 2 minutes. Yeah, that's all right. I'm just going to take him away from the stage for a minute, though. All right. So some people aren't going to like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. All right. So sorry, but I don't really believe Ricci Davis. Um, I don't really believe him. But that's okay. That's okay. Um, I think he probably is a little bit of a career snitch. I think he is probably trying to get some time off his sentence. But it's fine. That's cool because that's a Brady violation. And I think it's going to serve Richard Allen's appeal very well indeed. So Andy Baldwin's done exactly the right thing. He's gone and seen him. He's found out about the 8 letters. Nick has done a terrible job of explaining it. It doesn't matter. He can't decide whether it's exculpatory or not. He can't. That's not his job. There's so much in there that is material to the case, and he should have handed it over. That's his job. He didn't explain what happened to the rest of it at all. He didn't explain where the rest of the letters are. He just glossed over the whole interview thing. Where is it? So it's not up to him to decide who's credible and who's not. Having that thing in the response about Keegan Kline being more credible, that just cuts his argument off right there. That's ridiculous, right? So I think this is all looking really good for Richard Allen's appeal, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the things that Ricci Davis has said, they don't make sense. They contradict themselves. They're all over the place. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nick McLeland should have handed it over. It's discoverable. Absolutely. What do you think, Ellie? Whoops. You muted. Hey,
Yeah, I agree. He should have known. I think it will help. I don't know. We'll see how much. I mean, it's a big hurdle for appeals. You know, they are technically for losers, but I think they've preserved a pretty good record so far, and we'll see.
well, I mean, I agree. Like appeals are for losers, but Brady violations are generally like they're pretty cut and dry. Like this one's pretty cut and
Yeah,
dry.
but post conviction is different than pre
Yeah.
conviction because post conviction or pre conviction, you just have to show it could have. It's something the prosecutor should have given you. Post conviction, you have to show it's could have resulted in a difference in your case. You have to prove that burden. So I think that is a pretty easy argument to make, but it's a little bit higher of a standard.
And you're right. Yeah, it does matter if it's not exculpatory. However, the is completely off if Richard Allen is involved with Ron Logan and Keegan Kline and their whole CSAM ring, right? So that's is not what was presented at trial from the prosecution standpoint. So what was presented at trial and what the jury made their decision based on is completely different to what is being put forth in this discovery. So, or as per the information that is in these documents. So, if the jury had been privy to that information, then the rest of the timeline, the rest of the evidence would have had to align with it, and they didn't receive any of that. So it's not so much whether there's one particular thing in there that's exculpatory. It's whether the entirety of the evidence is going to add up to him being the person who committed the crime. And it completely throws everything off. Nick McLeland doesn't get to decide what the evidence is that makes him the killer. And by him taking this away, he has decided what the evidence is. Right? So if he goes, okay, so all this stuff is inculpatory, but I'm not going to include it. Okay, well, what makes you think that you can just not include it then? Is it because it's inconvenient to you because the trial's about to start?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so that's inconvenient to you. So I'll just take that stuff away, and you don't have to then make the rest of the facts fit that anymore. Because what you're selling to the jury is that he acted alone. Right, and that was his bullet casing that was found there, and that he also that his confessions, remember his confessions were that he just wanted to assault them quickly and then he saw a man and that he got out of there really fast. Also, there's stuff in the letters about the occult thing and the setting the crime scene up so that it looked like occult setting. So would Nick and his team have to explain all that stuff, introduce who Ron Logan is, introduce who Keegan Kline is, do all this work, and then show how Richard Allen is inculpated in that context? Or is it just easier to throw those letters away? Right? So
Less work.
it's far less work, right? But also, the stuff that he was going to put forth at trial, that doesn't agree with that theory, right? So it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So he doesn't get to decide that. Nick doesn't get to decide what the facts are.
Yeah, it goes against what he's arguing at trial. You'd probably have to really get into case law to decide. Because at some point, Nick has to decide, okay, is it relevant or not? Because there has to be a standard. Like, Nick can't go and send the defense his high school yearbook photos. There's no relevance whatsoever, apart from them laughing and making fun of him, of course. So there is a certain standard, but we're getting now down to third-party culprits, and he could be there, he could not be there. You know, if you have to ask, should I or shouldn't I on this, you know, probably want to side on want to be rather safe than sorry.
Yes, correct. And yes, Duck and Bellies, I don't know whether this is going to go to post-conviction relief first or whether it's going to go straight to appeals to the appellate court. I think it's going straight to the appellate court from what I've heard about the next step in that part of the world in Indiana. People are talking about it going to the appellate court next. So unless somebody has different information on that, I hope it goes straight to the appellate court because I mean there's just going around in circles with Judge Gull at the moment. But yeah, I mean I'm used to that. I'm used to the post conviction relief being the next step after trial. So it's interesting. But yes, I believe that there are some exculpatory points in the letters, but it's not the point. The prosecution doesn't get to decide what's exculpatory.
I think this is post-trial relief. So that would go to the trial court.
Yes, but it's different in different jurisdictions.
Yeah.
So I keep hearing that it's going to go to the appellate court next. So
I'm just trying to see if I can.
yeah, Duck and Bellies. It makes zero sense to me why it would go to the same judge. You would think there'd be a second round and it would go to at least a different arbiter. It's governed by state law. Yeah. But that's okay. I'm sure, I don't know where Michael is, but I'm sure Michael or Brock would know, or Cara. They'll be around. They'll be able to talk about that. But regardless, I mean, it's regarding the question of exculpatory evidence. I've spoken with many lawyers and had lawyers on this channel, been on other lawyers' channels. Oh, I'm not a lawyer. Been on lawyers' channels, and we've watched proceedings. We've looked at documents, and one thing that always comes up is with Brady violations, it is not the prosecutor's decision what is exculpatory. Material, whether discovery is whether it's discoverable, whether it's material to the case, that's a question. So whether or not it should have been handed over, as in whether it's material to the case, that's more of a question. But whether it's exculpatory, that's up to the defense to decide.
Yeah.
So are these letters material to the case? I can't see why not. Especially considering that the motion in limine wasn't over yet. Like, they were still allowed to
present new evidence.
Yeah, they were still allowed to argue it up until the day of trial, and those letters were coming in they were coming in October. don't see why not. But he should have handed them over. He knows he should have handed them over. This is stupid. This is stupid. Yours went to the trial judge. Yeah, you're in Colorado. Yeah. Very material when the state's central argument was details only the killer would... Yes. Yes. Yeah, and those words too. They're nasty that he used those words.
Yeah.
Ricci Davis had those words in there. The details only the killer would know. Ouchie. Ouchie. Yeah. 2 years earlier. And isn't it interesting
What
that
were they
he's
doing?
just... What were doing?
The police, I mean, they had this information there. Like, why are they sitting on their thumbs, not doing anything for years?
Oh, they were eating donuts.
Well, yeah.
Nom, nom, nom. It's... Look, they had him. It was done. It was sorted, right? And Nick actually said in an interview, he goes, I never thought that there would be a not guilty. It never did I think that there was going to be a not guilty verdict.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So he was that sure. I would like to know, if he was that sure, then why did they not go for the death penalty?
That would have required a lot more scrutiny, even
Exactly.
after, especially after he was convicted.
Exactly. Yeah. See, death penalty is so much harder to litigate, right?
And frankly, for two little girls, innocent, I mean, not that I agree with the death penalty, but if there is ever a case, this is it.
That's why I ask.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm so anti-death penalty.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've learned a fair bit about it, and I know that the state does not seek the death penalty unless they think they've got a rock-solid case.
Yeah.
Right? And also when there's a lot of public pressure on.
And
it.
a particularly heinous crime.
And it's a particularly heinous crime.
Yeah.
Crime, right? Now, there was would McLean even be DP? McLeland be DP authorized or need to hand off? Oh, yeah, no, he would have needed a DP certified.
That might explain it.
He wanted
well.
it for himself.
Yep.
He wanted it for
He wanted
himself.
the glory.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can't take the glory away from
No.
Dare. But there would have been... I would say that there would have probably been pressure, though, from people around him. But he would have gone, look, we've only got this, and this for evidence.
Yeah.
I would say let's not go there. Maybe for his own satisfaction as well, because he wanted to stay as the prosecutor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You wouldn't need to be DP certified, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. But yeah, I mean, when I first looked into this case, I was like, oh, well, Indiana mustn't have the death penalty then, because like two little girls, heinous crime.
Maybe something that always confused me is he only got 70 years each.
Yeah, 130 all up.
Well, yeah, total.
130. Yeah.
Why wasn't this life without parole? Was that an option?
That is life without parole.
Well, I know. I mean, okay, is that so Indiana doesn't just have life without parole? Because technically he has a release
They
date.
often add the years up, and then that's life without parole.
Okay.
That's quite normal.
Okay, I'm used to just hearing life without parole.
Yeah, but they tell you the years so that you can hear like that's that many years for that girl and that many years for that girl, and like in Wisconsin when Darrell Brooks got 600 and something years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a risk you get someone honest. Yeah, that's true. I don't pray, but if I did, I'd pray for the devil to take back his wife, Frances C., for a corrupt girl and free the earth of her tyranny. Oh, look, you know what? I'm sure there's so many people in that area who think she's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I see comments on like the mainstream media articles, and even going back, like I've had a look at the newspaper articles
Well, she
about
had.
her and what she's achieved. They think she's fantastic.
I mean, she had a good reputation, I thought,
She
before
still
this.
does.
Wow.
She still does. She handed down the sentence to the man who supposedly killed these two girls. People think she's fantastic. She'll probably keep getting elected, and she's been she was a prosecutor in the 80s and then judge in the early 90s.
Help pioneer the ability to have cameras in the courtroom.
Well, she thought it was going to convict more people. Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I think all round, it's not quite the result that I expected. I expected these letters to be different, but I think that Nick's response is stupid. It's so stupid. And yeah, Gull's going to deny it, but it's gonna be a really strong appellate issue. It's very strong, very very strong. Wow. And I'm really interested to see. It might be nothing, but this thing that's come out with this supposed juror on Facebook, I wonder if that goes anywhere. I wonder if that's real. Hey Sarita, how are you? Yeah, you're really late. We're about to finish off. Ah, dear. Who else is out there? Who else is out there? Is Sean streaming yet? Is Sean?
I'm sorry.
No, he was.
I'll look. Sorry, I was replying to Trenton. No, I don't think so.
No. We might chuck you guys over to case by case then.
Is
Let's see
Ange
if I
going?
can. No, not at the moment. That's all right. I think case by case is discussing this too. Is that how you say case by case or case X case? I don't know. I might be completely off. And I've never tried to redirect to them before, so I might not be able to. We'll see. I can. Okay, when you get over there, everyone say Hella sent you or Hella Raid. That would be really good. Cool. All right. Sweet. Nothing set up for Sean. Apparently Sean's streaming twice today. Hella mentioned it. I wanted to hear what she heard. Oh, yeah. So all it is, guys, just really quickly, all it is Emily posted so there it is. Emily posted this. So it was something that was posted in Facebook. Anonymous member. Okay, so I have a connection to someone who was on the jury. She said there's a gag order until December, and then we will all hear so much more. Now I've been team innocent 95% of the time. So I asked why the heck they found him guilty, and she said that the jury found out Richard Allen and Keegan Klein interacted. They think maybe Klein told Allen the girls were going to trial that day. Going to the trial that day. Now we had to stop talking and I heard nothing more. My question, why wasn't that presented in court then? I wonder. I didn't get the opportunity to ask, but I'm wondering how the jury found this out and we didn't. Now I'm starting to change my mind. What the hell? Look, I don't know if that's real or not. Like, as in, I don't know whether it's just someone trolling the group. But if it's real, then what's that? I hope that opens up a whole new can of worms.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, We could have like a Becky Hill situation. So yeah.
I
And
didn't
thank
do
you.
nothing.
Thank you, my lovely co-host, and thank you for being here and helping out today.
My pleasure.
Much appreciated. All right, we're going to go and raid case X case. Go say hello, raid, when you get there. Say hi from Hella Excited Utterance. Much appreciated. See you guys next time. It sounds a little bit like propaganda farming, yes. But you never know. It could be. It could be. Oh, you got a gift, Patty. Cool. Welcome to the crew. Welcome to the Hellaverse. Alrighty. Time for the song, everyone. Thanks for being here. Let's go.
Her name was Hella. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Donnie and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud in because she's an 803.